So if you would please silence your cell phones or get ready to go. All right, so we're going to start with our opening song, and we're going to see if we can get you up on your feet, and here we go.
Good morning, everybody. Come on, let's go. Woke up this morning with my mind set on Spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind set on Spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind set on Spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hey, say hello to somebody around you. All right, here we go. Living, loving with my mind set on Spirit. Living, loving with my mind set on Spirit. Living, loving with my mind set on Spirit. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Wasn't it beautiful today?
Aww.
We have prayer circle every Sunday before at 8:30, and we do a little prayer circle with everybody that's around. And we've been doing it in the lobby for months, and we were all gathered in the lobby. And I'm like, why are we in the lobby? Let's run outside and stand outside where it's beautiful. So I forgot to tell you, Jerry Lynn, that we're doing the announcements manually now. Laura's back to doing announcements.
Ladies and gentlemen, Laura Combs.
Exactly.
All right. Good morning. It's great to be back. How are you all this morning? Yeah, it is beautiful out there today, huh? It's like we've just gone through labor, and now we're giving birth. All right. So let's see what's happening this week. All right.
I'll take your word for that.
I said something to my son one day about being strong, and he goes, I know. He said, I remember at my son's wedding, I broke my toe, and he said, and you just kept on going. And I go, honey, after childbirth, nothing hurts, So anyway, today you have a great opportunity. The Rainbow Alliance is presenting our own, I can't remember her first name, Yolanda Nava. And so anyway, she is wonderful. She's got a great story. There's a nice brunch over there. Please join them over in Costa Hall this afternoon.
But wait, you know what? Let's tell her. I want to go back. Yolanda used to be a reporter for NBC in Los Angeles, a very high-powered reporter, actually. She did a lot of work. And since then, she has lost her sight over time. And this woman is probably one of the most independent women I've ever met. She is just unbelievable the way she gets around and does what she wants to do when she wants to do it.
Nothing stops her.
Nothing stops her. So she's a real motivating force. So it's a wonderful opportunity to hear her story, and she has a wonderful story to tell. So it'll be this afternoon, I think 12:15. And
yes.
light lunches
and
included.
$10 suggested love offering. You can't beat that.
Yep, there you go.
And then we have this wonderful practitioner nurse here today. She's going to talk about how to nurture yourself. I've heard great things about her. That's no charge too, and that's over in the OM room. So practical ways to nurture yourself. So she's a nurse practitioner, and please join them over there. Doctor? Oh, she's a doctor. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Susan. Okay, and then this is the last week to sign up for Reverend Ruth Ann's Edinburgh Lectures, which is wonderful. It's Troward, and it's one of the required classes for becoming a practitioner. So it's your last opportunity. So please sign up or show up. And then go back. Are you not doing that one this week? Okay. Oh, okay. So I know. This week is Rev It Up Wednesday with wonderful William and our fabulous Dale. So join that. We have meditations on Thursdays. And next week, we have our new membership orientation. Whether you are new here to the center or you've been coming here for years, if you haven't taken this workshop, it's a great way to kind of know the inner workings of the center and what goes on over on the other side. Where do we come from? And have any questions answered. So please sign up because we will be supplying a light lunch and we need to know how many people are going, how many packets to have. And then we have our Patriot Ride. We have a lot of stuff. From now on, it's just Zoom till January. October 20th, we have the Patriot Ride. Please see Cheryl out there. There's sign-ups on the patio. We have the Desert AIDS Walk. And we need...
Also on October 20th is the Desert AIDS Walk, and I'll be participating with Gary. Normally we have 15 walkers with us from the congregation. This year, there's only me and Gary. So we're hoping that people... There's the two of us.
You two will have fun.
We'll walk hand in hand.
Oh, Joyce, are you doing it too? Okay, good.
So we'd love for you to join us. So Gary's going to be out on the patio after services, and we can have you sign up there. If you can't walk, we'd love to be able to accept your donation on behalf of the Desert AIDS Project through our center. So there's a way to do that as well. So you could sponsor me or Gary.
And now that the weather's wonderful, what a wonderful way to spend Saturday,
yeah.
right?
So you have the Patriot Ride if you want to participate. As a volunteer, if you want to walk with us, we have two things on October 20th.
Something for everybody. And don't forget our gala. Don't forget we have a limited amount of seats. It is going to be a wonderful event of celebrating. And we also need volunteers for Thursday and Saturday. Thursday to kind of help set up. And then, of course, Saturday, none of us will be hungover. And so we will be here picking up tables and putting the sanctuary back in order. So please see Ross out there and also sign up for the gala. It's going to be so much fun. You're going to see Dr. Joe get his crazy on, like you don't ever see that ever on Sunday, right? But you get to see all of us that way, so it'll be fun. And so next week we have Michaela Phillips, who was America's Got Talent. So
she was one of the top 13 that would just... this woman next week, we are in for a great surprise. We are so fortunate she lives in Palm Desert.
Oh, I was just going to ask, is she from the desert?
Yeah.
Temecula. Oh, well, nearby.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Who's
Cat
granddaughter?
sisters. Anyway, we're talking up here.
Anyway.
All right. This is why we did the announcements the other way. Because my talk gets shorter and shorter as the conversation goes on and on, right?
All right, Dr. Joe.
This is the last week to jump into Prosperity Plus. We had almost, I think, 95 people show up. And so Prosperity Plus this week is going to be all about building the vision, building the dream of what you want your life to be. So we'll be doing a lot of dream building this week. That's what the workshop is. It's interchangeable. You can come to either the 9 or the 6 p.m., so don't feel like you're locked into one or the other. It's a really great program. People really enjoyed the class last week. We hope you jump in this week because it's a wonderful experience. If you are not living out your vision, if you're not living your dream, not dreaming your dream, if you're not living it now, there's got to be a reason why, and we're going to help sort that out for you. So we hope you join us tomorrow. Again, you can still join up 9 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock at night. And now. Now. Why don't you do the introduction? Because I just call him Barry the Sound Guy. You know, he's a lot more than Barry the Sound Guy.
Okay, who knew? Our Barry the Sound Guy is an amazing talent out in the community, and he's just one of the greatest blues singers and guitar players that I know from way back. So put your hands together, please, for Barry Bond.
Good morning. I've got shoes that keep me walking. I got clothes that never wear out. My Lord, He keeps on giving, and I'm never gonna go without. He gives me love to feed my spirit. He keeps my cup filled up to the brim. My Lord, He keeps on giving, and I'm never do without again. He keeps on giving and giving and giving. I promise that it's never gonna end. Just keep on living and living and living. As long as I'm living for Him, I've got a lamp that keeps on burning. I've got a fire that'll never go out. My Lord, He keeps on giving, and I'm never gonna go without. Keeps on giving and giving and giving. I got a promise that it's never gonna end. Just keep on living and living and living. As long as I'm living for Him, my Lord, it just keeps on giving. I've got more blessings than I can count. My Lord, He keeps on giving, and I'm never gonna go without. My Lord, He keeps on giving, and I'm never gonna go without. He keeps on giving and giving, and I'm never gonna do without. Thank you.
All right, Barry. Thank you, Barry. I was just telling Dale and Michael, before service, I feel like I should have like a martini, you know, because the little jazz thing going on. Now I felt like I should be on a horse. You know, am I the only one enjoying today's program? I mean, am I the only one in the room? I mean, what is this? Come on. All right, let's do our mission statement. Bring it up, William. I remembered. See that? Things do change. Let's bring it up. This is what we say every week to remind ourselves why we're here, why we're doing what we're doing. So let's join in together, please. We are a dynamic, open, and positive faith community that accepts all religions. Our mission is to awaken you to your divine nature, empowering you to create the life of your dreams. We are changing lives one heart at a time. Let's turn out the lights. Take a deep breath in. Place your feet on the floor. Uncross your legs. Uncross your hands. Kind of look up into the horizon with your eyes closed. Take another deep breath in. And we can change the world one heart at a time. And we can change the world one heart at a time. I see you, I know you. You're a part of me, and we can change the world one heart at a time, and we can change the world one heart at a time. I see you, I know you, you're a part of me. My heart is ready to love. My heart is open to love. Love.
Centers for Spiritual Living and Centers for Spiritual Living Palm Desert. Welcome home to the bounty, the beauty, and the blessing of the heart light of love within. And to the knowing that there are no strangers here. For while we are of many faiths and come from many places, we are the one face of God. God is the beauty of the Mona Lisa, the brushstroke of Michelangelo on the Sistine Chapel, and the compassion of Mother Teresa. God is the knowing that every child who walks on the face of this earth, who has and is and will be walking on the face of this earth, is perfect, whole, and complete. I am one with the knowing of this source, this energy, this God, this heart light of love within. And as I know this to be the truth of myself, I know this to be the truth of each and all of us. I affirm, I accept, I make welcome the goodness, the greatness, and the grandness of the bounty and the blessing and the beauty of heaven as on earth in all areas of my life, financial, physical, spiritual, and in all relationships. Every breath I breathe is a prayer of thanksgiving, and I am grateful for every beat of my heart. Knowing law and love as one, I release the words of this prayer into law, knowing that it is already done. And I invite you to say with me, and so it is. Amen.
And get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Please join me. And get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Take a deep breath in. This is the song where we take a little journey in our minds all over the world and look into the face of people from different cultures, different religions, and we see the God in them, and we acknowledge it. So let's take another deep breath in. Just kind of take a journey, a gentle journey. You are the face of God. You can sing with me. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. Let's do it again. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. Let's bring it up. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. You are the face of love.
My mother said, be grateful. Count the ways you are blessed. For there's always another who will have less. Live each day as though it was your last. For tomorrow may never come, and yesterday has passed. She said, live your life with no regrets. Doesn't mean that you're weak. Turn the other cheek and forgive and forget. 'cause you will have a new life. And you'll sing a new song. You will have a new home, right where His love belongs. If you trust in Him, trust in Him, trust in Him, for that is when your life begins. When your life begins, when you trust in Him. My mother's face, framed in ageless gold, may she get back what she gave 1,000-fold. For the truth comes with her ever faithful words. Live on in everybody who have heard. She said, live your life with no regrets. It doesn't mean that you're weak. Turn the other cheek and forgive and forget. You have a new life. And you'll sing a new song. You will have a new home, right where His love belongs. If you trust in Him, trust in Him, trust in Him, for that is when your life begins. Your life begins when you trust in Him. Trust in Him. Trust in Him. Oh, that is when your life begins, when you trust in Him. Thank you.
Hey, Barry, way to go. Thank you, man. Thank you. All right. Ooh, I'm on echo too. William, I'm confused. I have 2 of these today. That talk will go really fast, right? 1 on each hand. Yeah, really. Today I want to talk about God's bounty or God's supply. And the reason I want to talk about that is because people talk about how things are finite when really I believe a lot of things are infinite. We have a finite consciousness around some certain things. So I want to share that idea with you today. So what keeps us from God's supply? Negativity. We keep ourselves from the supply. We keep ourselves from the supply because our source of supply is never cut off. Remember that the eternal bounty of Spirit can be short-circuited only as far as we are concerned. It cannot either be exhausted or depleted. So think back. I remember back during one of the previous droughts. We have several, right? But do you remember what a previous drought there was? They built the desalinization plants. Is that the right word? Desalinization plants, where they were going to take salt water, convert it into drinking water and usable water. Remember? So, in other words, something happened in the universe, and the intellect, which had then formed itself, the consciousness had created something that could solve that problem. Now, I don't know where we are on those things. I don't think they're working now because we're not in a drought, right? We forget that, we need to take care of that stuff. But think about it. When it was needed, when an answer was needed, the answer appeared in different form. Think about that too. Think about how we talk about energy, the use of energy, and how we're saying, well, oil's a finite thing, coal's a finite thing, and then suddenly solar things start popping up, or windmills start popping up. And so we start using those things. What I'm trying to say is, right when we think that the universe has depleted a resource, it creates another stream of supply to substitute what we think is gone. Okay? The same thing happens in our life. What happens with outside in the environment and other places, it happens in our life. There are times in our life when we feel like our resources have been depleted, but what we don't understand is that they may have appeared to be depleted in this particular form, but the universe has another plan to restore whatever needs to be restored for us so we can continue expanding and living our lives. All right? If we take our images of thought only from our previous experiences, then we continue in the bondage which those previous experiences create. If I keep thinking what I always thought, I keep getting what I always got. Remember that? I went back to Michigan this week. It was a twofold thing. First off, I wanted to finally put my dad's ashes in their right place, which was right on the lake that we grew up at. But I also went back because I wanted to go to my homecoming. I haven't been back to high school for 37 years. Now, I can't do the math. Okay. So for 37 years, I haven't gone back. And I haven't gone back because I thought, who needs to go back? But I have some friends, and they said, come on, it's homecoming. And so I had a really interesting experience that I want to share with you because it really highlighted exactly what I had already written about this particular slide. In high school, I was really bullied. In this one classroom, I was really bullied. And the teacher knew it. And the only teacher left at that high school when I went to the pep rally was that teacher. And he stood about 10 feet away from me, and I realized I have been in therapy because of that guy, right? I harbored all sorts of feelings around that man who knew this was going on but did nothing at all to protect me or to make it stop. And so all those feelings, the reason I say the bondage part, of the previous experiences, all those feelings started to just well up inside of me. I was attending a pep rally, but I really wasn't even there because I was fixated on should I go up to this guy and say something. And I thought, I even looked, it changed my whole demeanor. In fact, one of my friends said, are you okay? Is this like pep rally upsetting you? And I'm like, no, this is what's upsetting me. And I shared my story. My history. So I sat there thinking, should I address this guy? And I realized that there was nothing he was ever going to say in my mind, even if he said, look, I'm sorry and that will never happen again, and I'm sorry I didn't do anything about it. That's not going to change what I felt was my life experience. And so I grappled with that, whether or not to confront him about it, because that was the word I used. And I chose not to. Eventually, I chose to say, you know what? You just faced your demon head on. And you just internalized all those feelings. So you don't need to feed that side of yourself anymore. Because now you just made a choice to turn and walk away. Okay? It was different. The old Joe would have gone, yeah, because now he's a lot older than I am, but I'm more fit, right? Eventually, we shall understand that all human bondage is an invention of ignorance, that the supply of my happiness, my contentment, was being wrapped up in the reaction of someone else or in actions of someone else, and that I was basing my happiness on him doing something that would change me, but really it had nothing to do with him doing anything. It was just my perception of me and what I was willing to accept. In Science of Mind, it says that. Eventually, we shall understand that all human bondage is an invention of ignorance. We've created all these situations in our life that we have built certain jails around certain things. And it was because we forgot to just release things and let them go and get into the flow of the life that's always there, that's always changing to meet my demand. The problem is I'm fixated on the problem, so it's fixating on my demand, the energy. It's not fixated on the solution. I'm pointing the direction of the energy in that direction. Does that make sense? I'm guiding that energy in a certain direction, which for me has always been, with this particular situation, a feeling of abandonment and vulnerability and anger. And so I realized when I was sitting there talking to my friends about it, I realized that those are qualities that I have carried on since I was 16. And then I remember something that I was told recently. What if you could talk to, my therapist said this, and I've told you I'm in therapy. It's great news. Great, because I sat there going, what if you could tell that 16-year-old boy that was being bullied at that point that everything is going to be okay and you're going to turn out all right? What if you had that conversation with him? And so I went back to that idea about what in you needs to have a conversation with yourself where you were vulnerable or where you were exposed and when something protected you from the flow and the supply of good. When are you going to go back and tell that source of whatever that is, that angst, that it can no longer have any control over you, that now you are voluntarily walking away from it? Does that make sense to you? So eventually we'll understand that. Why do you think Jesus would say resist not? Why do you think that was said? That which we refuse to recognize, we neutralize, and it is no longer there so far as we are concerned. We turn away from it. When I recognized it, when I refused to recognize that particular part and walked away, I have to walk away from ever talking about it again in those terms. What do you need to walk away from? There's something every one of us needs to walk away from. Could be a feeling of guilt, of resentment or anger, something you may have done or not done or said or not said. Everyone in this room has something we want to walk away from. Well, as far as we're concerned, once you refuse to recognize that as the thing that's guiding your life, it becomes neutralized. And once it becomes neutralized, it's no longer in our consciousness. Then we we get into the law of supply and flow and God's bounty, if you will. We allow ourselves to move into the flow of good, and that's when the healing occurs, because now we have space to accommodate it. Think of it as like a pie, okay? I love pie. I had so much good. You know when you go back home, you have to recreate all those food things? Gluten be damned. I was having a great time. Stomach did not like it, but I'm like, fried chicken, you're going down. Hot dog, down, right? Anyway, what was I saying just a minute ago? What's that? Pie. Oh, the pie. The pie. So what happened is our lives are really, our pies, we think of our lives as missing pieces of the pie, but they're really all there, but they're just pieces we don't want to eat anymore. There's certain slices of the pie that we don't want. right? And so when we refuse to recognize something, what your essence is doing is you're taking that piece of pie out and you're throwing it out. And now what's left? There's a void there. And the universe it never says you can live with an incomplete pie. It's always saying your pie is always going to be complete, whether it's something you want to eat or something you don't want to eat. So what happened is we make a choice when we take that pie out, when we neutralize that, we take that piece out of the pie, and now I get to choose what kind of piece I want to put in in response to that. I get to go back into the flow of things and allow myself to create the piece that I want, not the piece that I just discarded. So if I were to ask you that, is there a piece of your pie in your life that you would like to scoop out and get rid of? And that the only thing that's keeping you from doing it is your own sense that there's nothing there to replace it, that's better. But what you have to understand is the universe always has a supply of improvement. Remember the water that doesn't work and now it works, the energy sources that don't work and now we have different energy sources, the medicines that weren't even there that are there now, the technology that didn't exist before that exists now. I mean, think about how that changes things and how that is part of the law of supply and the bounty of the universe and how it's up to us to scoop out the piece of the pie we don't want. And now several of us may have several pieces of the pie, but I guarantee, I have to tell you this, as much as we want to think sometimes that our whole pie is a mess, there are certain parts of the pie that are working. And sometimes we've got to dig down deep to find those, but there are certain parts of the pie, so don't toss out the pie because a couple of pieces need to be changed. Does that make sense? So why then do we feel like sometimes we keep getting knocked down over and over and over again? How come we feel like it's the same old thing, getting knocked down over and over again? Well, first of all, we have those neural pathways that remind us of things. Because as soon as I got into that school, as soon as I walked into the school, because I've always carried that, while there was a sense of excitement, I was also a little bit nauseated. I was also a little bit just like, okay, here we go. You're going to face a part of your past that's maybe somewhat challenging, and you volunteered for this. You bought a ticket to do this. And I had to remind myself that, okay, this is obviously the universe is leading you in a direction of your good. Keep walking. Just keep walking. And so as I walked those halls and the memories of some good memories came to pass and some not so good ones came in, I thought, you know what? This is a great opportunity because in my life I have always felt like something has always caused me to get knocked down as a result of what happened early on in my life that I accepted as what my paradigm was supposed to be, of how people were going to treat me. And so when I expected that, that's what happened. Does that make sense to you? And so when I was able to, when I expect to get knocked down, of course I'm going to get knocked down. And we say things all the time in anticipation of the next thing dropping. What do I always tell you? How many people go, well, it can't be this good too long because the shoe's got to drop at some point? Really? So the universe has a special shoe to kick you when you're good, when you're doing well? I think that's a different church. We don't house that one here. We don't give that one residency here. But when you think about it, if we have an expectation of being knocked down over and over again, the universe will comply with that request because like Michael said in his beautiful prayer, it's love and law, and we demonstrate exactly what we're putting into it. And we may not say the words, and so it is, at the end of a thought process that we feel we're going to get knocked down again, but it's the same prayer that we've been saying over and over again, so that's the same tape and request the universe has heard again and again and again. Does that make sense? Unless we conceive ourselves as possessing good things, we will not possess them. In life, even that which we have will be taken away. You know what? This is a quote directly from the Science of Mind. Unless you can conceive, this is what we're doing in class start tomorrow, is we're going to start conceiving an idea about what life could be if we were living free of a lot of different restrictions. Because many of us can't even conceive a life because we put all of those restrictions on top of our dream, and the dream just gets diminished. So you have to go to the purity of the dream. If we want to possess something in our life, possess some sort of happiness or joy or health or relationships or prosperity, we have to be able to conceive the idea absent all the things that we need to absent the pieces of pie that don't belong. That's how I'll say it. Because the dreams can't exist as long as those pieces of the pie are in place. So we have to learn how to get rid of those pieces of the pie and have the vision of what the new pie is going to taste like. If you can't even conceive what that would look like, then chances are you're never going to be able to taste what it feels like to live in a life that is built on spiritual practices, spiritual law, and the demonstrations of those things. Okay? All right. It is natural for us to use past experiences to guide us through life. It is. So what do we hold on to? What do we hold on to? What I realized, and I'm just sharing my story so that hopefully you can see your story and my story. That's why I do what I do, right? So what I realized is I was harboring things of resentment and hurts, and it caused in relationships and people of how things used to work, right? I had this idea of what they should have been and so on and so on. But I was basing my life on past experiences, not all my life, but some parts of my life, basing them on some past experiences. And I was harboring all of those feelings, resentment and hurts, those relationships and those people. I was harboring them. I was hosting them at my party. Think about it. The people, those feelings, the relationships, you become a host they become a part of your party, and you're hosting them. I am welcoming them into my house, my consciousness, my life experience. And I've given them an invitation never to go away. I ask you the question, is there someone or some situations in your life that you've been hosting, that you've invited into your life and you refuse to let them go? Because if you keep thinking about them, all you've done is extend their invitation to house your experience of life and to create all the angst that comes from all of that. If you had the house guests from hell, would you keep them there? Then why do we keep harboring those feelings of things that have happened that have an impact on what our current mental health looks like? And I don't think anybody in this room hasn't been knocked down a couple times in their life, right? Been offended by someone or something or some situation. But did you keep it? And I realized I had kept that. And I thought, God, you do all this work, Joe. You say all this stuff. And then you walk into a situation and suddenly, out of nowhere, all those feelings start to come up. So right when you think you're good, get ready, because you'll probably revisit it again. And when you revisit it again, this time you have to look at it and manage it differently. I may not have had the ingredients to make the new piece of the pie when I was 16, but I have them now. You may not have had the agreements or ingredients when something impacted your life, a loss of a relationship, a loss of some health, a loss of a job. You may not have had the ingredients to replace that piece of the pie, but you do now, and you're still working on it. That's the difference. Does that make sense? Perhaps listen to the guidance and move forward. If the past comes up, consciously nurture and heal that which needed attention. There's always something rooted deeper than the surface experience. It was never about the person that did what they did or didn't do on my behalf. It was what I rooted as a result of that experience. He was just doing him. In a Catholic school, I realized he was 24. It was a Catholic school. And back in the 1980s, back in Flint, Michigan, the thriving metropolis. Great place to be from. But anyway, it wasn't that person. It was what I rooted as an understanding of what he represented, but that wasn't my truth. Does that make sense? So I'm giving you that as an example because these are examples that, Have you ever been hit by a spiritual 2x4? 4x8 or anything bigger? Anybody? Spiritual 2x4s? Okay. Stop resisting and eliminate any belief in duality or separation from spirit. We weren't hit by the 2x4 really. What happened was we just tasted a piece of the pie that we don't like. And we've been invited to come back and recreate that. So sometimes the taste gets really nasty. It feels like larger, the 2x4, 4x8, railroad tie, hit a wall, that kind of experience. When you hit that, those are spiritual wake-up calls. It'd be nice if we could pay attention when it's like a little tap on the head or a tap on the shoulder, but usually those don't get our attention. We think, just isolated. But then they magnify, don't they? They get bigger and bigger and bigger until suddenly you have a real problem on your hands. Try not communicating with people clearly, and what you will find is that you will end up in a relationship that becomes a series of 2x4, 4x8s, and brick walls. There you go. All right. There is a pattern in the universe that wants to create, and each one of us is the key. Let it move through us daily, hourly, moment by moment. There is a pattern in the universe. There is this pattern that the universe wants to create, and it's orderly, and it's balanced, and it's loving, and it's joy-filled, and it's peaceful, and it's healthy, and it's harmonious. Who wouldn't want to sign up to be on that pathway? All right? The universe wants to have its system to operate like that, right? That's the desire of the universe. I know that because God is good all the time. There's a universal principle that says, the universe wants to create that. So the question is, how are you walking that path? Do you like your path? Right? How are you walking it right now? Are you walking it harboring those things? Or are you beginning to see that these are pieces of the pie I need to release? And then, do you like the path? And if you don't like the path, move the pie. Sometimes I know people that replace the whole pie. But guess what? They thought they replaced the pie. But 6 months later, those old pieces show up. Just wearing different clothes. Usually in a different city. They're going to find a geographical healing or another person to replace those things. But what they don't realize is the ingredients for them to actually self-sustain these changes are already given unto them. And finally, would anyone voluntarily join you? And the reason I put that there is you want your journey to be so amazing that other people are going, I want to be on that ride. How do I get on that ride? How do I get on that ride? What does he know about this ride that I don't know? That's why I say, would anybody want to join you? Or would you, if you invited them and they go, hell no, I'm not getting on that ride. Why would I do that? Are you kidding? Become your next ex? No. No. But think about it. That's some interesting criteria. So if you're not feeling like you're in the supply and the bounty of the universe, ask yourself these questions. How are you walking your path? Do you like the path? Is there something you want to change about it? And does anybody want to join you? And what I realize is the more I move in this direction, the more people want to hop on the ride because it's a really good ride. The law of the universe, the law of supply and demand, the laws of the universe's bounty, it's infinite. And it can change, and it will always change, and it will always change to meet the demands that I put upon it. And if one thing depletes itself, there's always something else to replace it that's even better. I just have to keep remembering that and reminding myself of that. And so, end your lesson. Thank you, everybody.
All right. I'd like to call our ushers to come forward, please, at this time. So as we prepare, let us go into that state of gratitude for all that we have. And we give from that place of abundance, knowing that Spirit always provides for us. And those of you that are live streaming, there's a donate button there. Please hit that button to make your donation to be part of this, or you can also text your offering. So let us say together our offertory, please. I offer this gift with joy and gratitude. I receive freely and give freely, knowing the law of circulation is working perfectly in my life and the life of this center.
All right, here we go.
Thank you.
today.
Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. It's up to me to be thankful. It's up to me to be kind. It's up to me to be grateful. It's up to me. It's up to me. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life.
All right. So
Great song I
this
sang
is
today.
Fred.
Everyone.
How long have you been here, Fred?
My beautiful wife and I have been coming here 2.5 years, and we love it here. And magic happens here. So grab some of those other people in Coachella Valley and bring them in here.
Thank you. Thank you. And Fred, you took our membership class. Did you like that?
I did.
All right. Yes. So make sure you sign up for next week. So let us bless our offering together, please. We bless this collective offering and receive it with gratitude, knowing it is spirit in action. As this currency flows through our center and beyond, it blesses many lives, including my own. All right, Fred, now give this to Tom Kelly, who's chair of our Abundance Committee, who is accepting it for our congregation. All right, so at this time, I'd love to welcome our visitors. If you are here for the first time, please don't be bashful. Stand up. We have a gift for you. We'd love to welcome you. Oh, welcome. Right back there, too, and over there. So what we're giving you is a CD holder with information about our center. And please stop by the welcome table and pick up a CD of a couple of Dr. Joe's talks. We welcome you and love for you to come back and make this your spiritual home. So especially those of you who are here for the first time, if you're going through anything, over in the Om Room, we have our part of our prayer team that is over there. They will pray with you, and we have miracles happening here all the time. What else, William? Oh, Wednesday, October 17th is our member council. So what we're really wanting to create is a council here that, we as the ministers, we do the ecclesiastical, the spiritual, but we want a strong council here that builds up our community so that your needs are met. You guys have your fingers on the pulse of what is needed and wanted here, and we want you to participate in that. So Tom and I'll be out there, and if you have any questions about that, please see us out there. And also, don't forget, look at that. We've got Soul Sisters. My book study's going on Tuesday nights. Even if you don't have the book, join in. We have great conversations. We have so many classes as there last week, so make sure you come to those classes. And I love that Dr. Joe is doing visioning in his class this week. If you want your life to change, you have to have a vision. And so this is a great class, a great opportunity. Don't forget today, Yolanda and our doctor over there on nurturing yourselves, ways to nurture yourself. Those are very important things. So let's just do a closing. Let's just take that deep breath in. And let's just feel that spirit, that love, that presence fill us up. That love that we feel within our heart, that is the divine. That is the divine expressing by each and every one of you. And so each one of us here has this divine purpose. If we are here breathing and living, there is still things for us to do. So we create that vision of our life. We create that vision of the world that we want to see and to be a part of. we see that pie and we take the pieces that we want. And then we fill up those voids with that love and that compassion and that understanding that we don't always understand everything, but we always know it's for our highest and best good. And we look for that nugget. We look for that nugget of truth in all areas of our life. So I am so grateful for Dr. Joe, for this center, for this teaching and our music, and for this spiritual community. So I just let go. I live each day, each moment from that place of love and compassion, knowing that it returns back to me pressed down and overflowing. And I know it's the truth, so I let it be so. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. There's donuts and iced tea and water out there. Go out there, meet your neighbors, welcome our new people, and have a wonderful week.
Thank you.